The world, with its cacophony of voices and opinions, will tell you relentlessly that your financial struggle is a matter of effort, time, circumstance. They will tell you with airs of wisdom that you need to work more, sacrifice more, wait for the right season, await a sign from heaven, or a change in the economy. They will paint a picture where you are a small boat at the mercy of the unpredictable waves of the market, the government, your boss. But I tell you, not as an opinion, but by spiritual law, that your financial condition, whether of abundance or lack, is not due to any of these things. It is due to a silent, invisible, and immutable law that governs the sanctuary of your mind, a law you have obeyed with blind and unconscious loyalty. Your mind is not who you are. This is the first and most liberating truth. Your mind is an instrument, a portal, a divine and extraordinarily powerful filter through which the formless substance of the universe, the quantum energy that is pure potentiality, takes shape and manifests in your concrete reality. And this filter, this sacred portal, has been programmed. Not by you, in your divine essence, but by the voices of fear that have echoed for generations, by the cellular memories of your ancestors' lack, by the echoes of a global culture that for millennia has taught you to see the world through the distorted and dirty lens of scarcity. Think about this with the depth it deserves. A filter. What does a filter do in its essence? It exercises the power of decree. It decides with absolute authority what can pass and what must be irrevocably barred. If your mental filter, your subconscious paradigm, is calibrated and adjusted for the law of scarcity, it will, with divine precision and absolutely merciless accuracy, allow the passage of any and all proof that money is difficult, that opportunities are rare, that you are unworthy, that life is a struggle. It will highlight in vibrant colors every bill to pay, every news of economic crisis, every story of failure. And at the same time, with the same infallible precision, it will block, make invisible, nullify any idea, any intuitive call, any divine alignment that would lead you directly to your inalienable heritage of infinite abundance. Opportunities will pass by you like ghosts, and you won't even notice they were there. In this message, I will not give you a passing suggestion or a philosophy to contemplate. I will deliver the master key, the administrator password for this filter. I will show you how to dismantle the old programming, not in years of therapy, not in months of effort, but now, in this exact moment of decision. And I will give you the word, the sacred sentence, the source code to install a new law in the operating system of your soul, the law of abundance. And when you do this, a seismic shift will occur. You will no longer chase what belongs to you by right. You will command it to come to you. Stay with me, for the word that will be revealed here, the knowledge that will be shared, has the power to realign your financial existence, and consequently, your entire life. The silent decree of scarcity. Let us delve deeper into this fundamental truth, for without its complete understanding, no lasting transformation is possible. You do not live a life. You live a cycle. A spiral of repetition, a self-perpetuating pattern, governed by an invisible law that you yourself have sanctioned, the law of scarcity. This law is not an opinion in the marketplace of ideas. It is a decree, a spiritual command, that operates from the fundamental and deeply rooted belief that resources are finite, that the universe is a fixed-size cake, and for you to gain a slice, someone must lose theirs, that another's success diminishes what is available to you. This decree, this central belief, transforms existence into a competitive battle, not because life is inherently a battle, but because your inner word, your silent oath, has declared it to be so. And the universe, like a faithful servant, obeys. And where did this decree come from? Who wrote this tyrannical law on the sacred tablet of your soul? It was not a conscious choice. It was whispered to you in your childhood, not with malice, but with the deepest ignorance. They were the words of those who loved you, your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, but who also operated, themselves, as prisoners of the same law. They passed you the prison manual, believing they were the keys to survival. Seemingly harmless phrases, but which are in reality powerful spells. Money doesn't grow on trees. This is not advice about work ethic. It is a decree that ties prosperity to suffering, struggle, and exhaustive effort. It commands that the only path to money be through sweat and sacrifice, blocking the paths of joy, inspiration, and ease. Save for tomorrow. It seems prudent, but energetically it is a decree that commands the universe to always bring you a future of lack and fear. You are essentially praying for a rainy day, and the law, being perfect, takes care to provide the storm so your savings have a purpose. You are prophesying scarcity. Rich people are dishonest/arrogant/unhappy. A devastating decree that forces you to an impossible choice between goodness and wealth, between integrity and abundance. To remain a good person, your subconscious will sabotage all opportunities to get rich, keeping you away from both. That's not for us. Perhaps the most subtle and powerful of all. It is a decree that draws a line, an invisible but steel vibrational barrier between you and your good. It defines a class identity, an identity of limitation, and the universe will only reflect back this self-image. Each of these phrases, and hundreds of others like them, is not a simple observation. It is a command, a verbal spell that, repeated relentlessly, has become the rhythm of your breathing, the heartbeat of your financial reality. This filter does not operate only in your conscious thoughts, it commands your emotions, which are the true engine of creation. When a divine opportunity presents itself, an inspired business idea, an unexpected connection, a door that opens subtly, what is the immediate reaction ordered by the law of scarcity? Fear, doubt, anxiety. The question that arises instantly is not how big can I fly, but what if I fall? Your mind, obeying the old decree, begins to filter and present, with impressive speed, all the reasons for failure, all the potential dangers, all the catastrophic scenarios. It does this not to protect you, but to validate the law under which it operates. The focus is not on what can be gained, but on what can be lost. Now, for an instant, just imagine the opposite decree, the law of abundance. It operates from the spiritual truth that the universe is an inexhaustible, creative, and eternally expansive source. Another's success is not a threat, it is proof, a vibrant testimony of what is also available to you, a celebration of universal abundance. Under this new law, when the same opportunity arises, the reaction is radically different. It is the call of the soul, it is excitement. It is the question, what if it works? What if it's even better than I imagine? The mind, now operating under a new command, filters and presents all paths to growth, all possibilities of success, all forms of collaboration. It seeks with the same fervor to validate the truth of abundance. The problem is that your current reality is on autopilot, obeying the pattern of fear, culture, and inherited limitation. Not because this is the ultimate truth, but because it is the only rhythm available in your internal playlist, until a new word is spoken with authority. When you receive your paycheck, what is your first silent decree? Is it a sigh of relief followed by "thank God I can pay the bills"? Or is it a declaration of power like "I command this money to multiply and serve my expansion and divine purpose"? The first is a word that invites more bills. You are telling the universe that the only function of money in your life is to patch holes, and the law, being perfect and impersonal, will bring you more holes to patch. It is a survival cycle that can only be broken by a new command. Reflect, with sacred urgency. Which law is operating through you at this exact moment? Are you reacting to the echoes of lack, or are you decreeing the truth of abundance? Recognizing this, without judgment, without guilt, is not the first step. It is the very turning of the key in the ignition. The personal bridge, the choice of the new decree. I don't need to tell you a long and dramatic story of how I lived under the law of scarcity, for this law is universal in its tyranny, and the details of my story would only be a reflection of the details of yours. I know its weight. I know the anxiety that grips the chest at 3 in the morning. I know the whispered lie that you are not good enough. I lived in the vicious cycle of working tirelessly only to remain in the same place, like a hamster on a wheel, watching others prosper with a lightness, a grace that seemed unattainable, almost offensive. My filter, as yours probably is now, was programmed to tell me that life was unfair, that for me the path was intrinsically more difficult. I saw myself as a victim, not of external circumstances, but of my own stubborn refusal to see the truth about my own power. I blamed the economy, my bosses, my education, anything to avoid looking at the legislator who dwelt within me. The turning point, the moment when the downward spiral stopped and began to rise, was not an external event. I didn't win the lottery. I didn't receive an inheritance. It was an internal decision. A moment of collapse, not of despair, but of sacred indignation. It was the moment when the pain of staying the same became greater than the fear of changing. It was when the fundamental question changed radically. Instead of asking heaven, in supplication, "Why does this happen to me?" the question became an internal whisper, fierce and direct. What decree in me is commanding this to happen repeatedly? This question is the key. It is the beginning of liberation. It removes power from the external world, from circumstances, from other people, and returns it to its only true place of origin, your word, your consciousness, your decree. It was in this moment of blinding clarity that I understood that the problem was not my income, my job, or the economy. The problem was the law I had accepted as my personal constitution. The operating system of my soul was infected with the virus of lack, the deeply ingrained belief that I was not worthy, that struggle was noble and necessary. And the universe, like a perfect mirror which does not judge or question, only reflected, with impeccable precision, the law I carried inside. If I decreed struggle, it gave me battles. If I decreed debt, it gave me creditors. If I decreed not enough, it delivered the experience of insufficiency in all areas. Realizing this was simultaneously terrifying and the deepest liberation I have ever experienced. Terrifying. Because I understood with undeniable clarity that I was the only authority responsible for my own prison. There was no one to blame. The responsibility was total. Liberating for the exact same reason. If I, through my power of unconscious decree, created this reality into existence, then I, through my power of conscious decree, have the power to decree a new one. If I was the prisoner, I was also the jailer, and therefore held the key to the cell. That's when the real work began. Not work of physical effort, but of energetic and spiritual realignment. Work of silencing the old command, with love and gratitude for the protection it tried to offer, and speaking the new word with authority and conviction. And it is this method, the exact steps to cancel the old decree and activate the new law in your being, that I will deliver to you now, without reservations. The solution in 3 acts: taking back command. Now, let's get to practical activation. The law awaits your participation, your vibration, your voice. The process is simple, profound, and is divided into 3 sacred acts: the witness, the decree, and the embodiment. Follow them like a map to your promised land. Act 1. The witness. Bring the old law to light. You cannot cancel a command you do not consciously hear. The first act is to become a silent and non-judgmental witness to the decrees of scarcity that operate through you like invisible software. This is not an act of self-criticism but of divine awareness. For the next week, transform yourself into a detective of your own consciousness. Carry a small notebook, or use a notes app exclusively for this task. First, listen to your inner voice. Become intensely curious about your internal dialogue. When money is the topic, what is the first sentence your mind utters? When an unexpected bill arrives in the mail, what is your silent command? When seeing another person's prosperity on social media or on the street, what is your immediate verdict? Write down these words exactly as they arise. I'll never have that. It's too risky. I need to save out of fear of the future. I'm not good with money. Remember, these are not objective observations. They are judicial sentences that are actively shaping your reality. Second, listen to your external voice. What do you say about money with friends, family, and colleagues? Do you join the chorus that sings the hymn of crisis, difficulty, and complaint? Do you complain about prices, the government, taxes? The words that come out of your mouth are the physical materialization of your internal commands, reinforcing the cycle. Write them down without censorship. Everything is so expensive, life is a struggle, so-and-so was lucky. Third, investigate your archaeological origin. Dedicate time to sit in silence and ask, what were the decrees about money in my childhood home? What did my parents say about the rich, about work, about debt, about security? What emotions filled the air when money was discussed? Fear, tension, anger. These words and emotions were absorbed by your subconscious mind as law, long before you had the power of discernment to reject them. At the end of this week of attentive observation, you will have a map, the detailed map of your self-imposed prison. This is a sacred moment. Look at the list and see the old law for what it is: inherited programming, a lie you innocently agreed to live. Recognizing the pattern with clarity is the act that breaks its hypnotic power over you. Act 2. The decree. Proclaim the new law. Now that you have witnessed the lie, you must annul it with the force of truth. Our tool for this is not positive affirmation, it is the decree. There is a crucial difference. An affirmation waits, hopes to become true. A decree is the declaration of a truth that already is on the spiritual plane, and that is now being commanded to manifest on the material plane. Modern neuroscience speaks of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize by forming new neural connections. Ancient spiritual law speaks of vibration. Both concepts point to the same truth. When you decree a new truth, you are not trying to convince your brain, you are commanding the energy of the universe and the cells of your body to realign with your sovereign word. For each decree of scarcity you witnessed in Act 1, you will now proclaim its opposite and sovereign truth. The rules for forging these new decrees are divine and precise. 1. Always in the sovereign now. Creative power only exists in the present moment. Don't say I will be prosperous. Say I am the very substance of prosperity. The spirit knows no future. Declaring something in the future is a command for it to remain forever out of your reach, always in tomorrow. 2. Use the language of presence, not absence. The universe does not process negation. Instead of I will have no more debts, which focuses on the energy of debt. The decree is I am the very substance of financial freedom. All energy that flows to me is an instrument of my expansion and prosperity. Focus on what you desire, not what you want to avoid. 3. Anchor in divine authority. Your decree is not a fragile wish or a humble request. It is a command coming from your divine identity, from the I am that you are. Begin your decrees with I am, I decree, I claim now. Examples of decree transmutation. Old law. It's very difficult to make money. New decree. I am the magnetic center to which divine abundance is irresistibly attracted. Money flows to me from all directions, in expected and unexpected ways, serving my divine purpose with grace and ease. Old law, you can't be rich and good. New decree. I am the expression of divine generosity and integrity. Wealth in my hands is a sacred tool to bless, heal, serve, and elevate the world. The more I have, the more I can give. My prosperity is a blessing to all. Old law. I don't deserve wealth. New decree. I claim now, as my irrevocable truth, my divine inheritance of infinite prosperity and abundance. It is my birthright, and I accept and decree it as my only reality now. Create your own decrees based on the map you made. Write them, speak them aloud. They are the new laws of your personal universe. As the great teacher Florence Scovel Shinn taught, the word spoken with feeling sets in motion the infallible law. It is not a request, it is an activation. Act 3. The Embodiment, live, from the new law. This is the final and most crucial act, what separates the dreamer from the creator. Repeating decrees like a parrot, mechanically, does not move the law. The secret, the very essence of manifestation, is aligned vibration. Thought is the language of the mind. Feeling is the language of the body and spirit. For your decree to become flesh, to manifest as reality, you must align what you speak with what you feel. You must feel the truth of your decree before the evidence appears in the material world. This is the essence of faith. How to do this practically and powerfully. 1. Establish a command ritual, twice a day, at dawn, before the world imprints its limitations on you, and before sleeping, to program your subconscious during the night. Enter your sacred space. It can be a corner of your room, a specific chair. 2. Declare aloud, and with authority, go to the mirror. Look deeply into your own eyes, which are the portals of your soul, and declare your new law. Don't whisper with shame. Command. Give the order to the universe, and to all the cells in your body. Feel the power in your voice. 3. Feel the truth already consummated. This is the quantum accelerator. When decreeing I am financially free, don't just think about the words, feel the lightness in your shoulders. Breathe deeply and feel the peace in your heart. Feel gratitude bubbling for a liberation that has already happened in the invisible. Gratitude is the signature of faith. It is the feeling of prayer already answered. Smile. A genuine smile. For you know that the Spirit has already begun to rearrange reality to conform to your word. 4. Silence resistance with love. The old law, your ego will fight. A voice of cynicism will say, this is foolish. Look at your bank account. Don't fight against it. Don't deny it. Recognize it as the echo of an old frightened programming, and with divine and compassionate authority say silence. I thank you for your attempt to protect me, but a new law has been decreed. I am abundance. 5. Hunt for evidence of the new law. Your task during the day is to become a hunter of proof for your new decree. The old filter looked for lack. Your new command to your reticular activation system is to find abundance everywhere. A coin found on the street. Proof. A coffee offered by a friend. Proof. A compliment from your boss. Proof. A new inspiring idea. Proof. Celebrate each manifestation, no matter how small, with a thank you. More of this, please. Each one is the universe sending you a note that says your command has been heard and is being obeyed. This 3-act process, witness, decree, and embodiment, is not a one-day exercise. It is your new daily practice of spiritual governance. Consistency, repetition with divine authority and elevated feeling, will dissolve the old and rusty filter of scarcity and polish the new and brilliant portal of abundance until it shines. If this word has lit a light in your soul, if you have felt the resonance of truth in this call, then seal your decision right now with a physical action. Click the like button, not as an empty gesture, but as an act of energetic command, a declaration that you agree with this message and command that this power spread to more people who need to hear it. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel and activate notifications. Transformation is not a single event, it is a continuous alliance with truth. I will be here as a sentinel, a constant reminder of your power to decree, to command, and to create. Being part of this community is surrounding yourself with an egregore, a group energy, of those who have consciously chosen to govern their lives by the sovereign word. We have reached the end of this transmission, but the true beginning of your reign. The most powerful and liberating truth I leave you with is this: your mind is not your master. It is your most loyal and powerful servant. For too long you unknowingly have allowed this servant to operate under the orders of an ancient and cruel law of scarcity, a law that was not written by you. But from this moment on, you know the truth. Ignorance is gone. With knowledge comes responsibility and power. You have the choice. The choice to become the conscious legislator of your own reality. The choice to take the hammer of your word and annul the decrees of fear and limitation. The choice to install a new law, the law of abundance, through your sovereign word, charged with the vibration of faith and feeling. Your mental filter can be your maximum security prison, keeping you chained to the endless cycle of lack, or it can be your portal to the stars, revealing a universe of prosperity, joy, and freedom that was always there, hidden in plain sight, patiently waiting for you to speak the magic word to see it. The choice of which law to obey is, and always will be, yours. Don't wait for proof to believe. Believe so that proof can appear. You must feel abundant, to command abundance to manifest. Start today. Start now. Witness the lie. Proclaim the truth. Embody your new law. The power to create your financial reality was never out there. It resides in your mouth, in your heart, in your consciousness. It always has. Now you know how to use it. Speak, command, create.